I've seen Mr. Akrobato. He laughs, especially with and it's now trending on social media.
Do we have third parties when it comes to copyright?
You can be put in prison for stealing somebody's contents and using them without their permission.
If somebody comes to the realization that their copyright work has been infringed upon, who should be their first point of contact?
Can copyright be licensed and transferred?
Hello, this is Bnoskka IP Zone, and I'm happy to always come your way with intellectual property education and all its types, copyright, trademark, patent, trade secrets, and all that you need to know. Before we start into today's engagement, I want you to know that Apprise Music, which produces this content, actually does distribution and publishing. And so make sure you come here, you come and publish your music. It doesn't matter you are an old artist or a new artist. It is never too late to start, because the moment you don't publish, you are losing money. And if you don't distribute in the right way, you are also losing money. I heard some time ago, people used to pay other people's money. Please go and publish my song, go and distribute. And they publish and distribute on their own channels. And when monies are coming, they are going to them personally. No, Apprise Music will make sure that your own channel is what we will distribute for it on you, so that will give you a back end. You'll be able to see what money is coming to you. You'll be able to see who and where are your songs being streamed most, so that if you want to, promote your song on the digital platforms, you know where to target to be able to get more streams. On that note, I have a wonderful guest in my midst, and I want them to introduce themselves. So let's start with the guy on my left.
Hi everyone, my name is Phillip Neewhang. I'm a musical artist, I'm a content creator, and I also have Apprise Music.
Great. And the lady?
Hi guys, I'm Margaret Doe, aka Max. I'm a recording artist and a social media influencer.
Great. So on that case, let us find out if our topic will be able to feature these two people. Our topic today is what is eligible for copyright. And when we say what is eligible, in other words, to be able to put it in a simplest form, is to say that what can be included in the copyright law for protection, okay? Or what is protected by copyright law. So when we say copyright law, it is not everything you are dreaming is not part of copyright law, okay? So let's look at what is eligible for copyright law. And in the law, Section 1 of the Copyright Act 690/2005 in Ghana, it says an author, a co-author, or a joint author, or of any of the following works is entitled to the copyright and protection afforded to that work under the copyright law. So what are these works? 1, literary work. Literary work here means that any idea, you write it in a book. I'm not talking about the idea. I'm talking about a book. You write a book, it means the book becomes a literary work. So it can be a book on film, a book on music, a book on dance, a book on literature, a book on anything. You are protected by law. Then artistic work. Artistic work here could be paintings, could be drawing, could be sculpture, could be woodwork, could be craft, could be art. All that forms under artistic works. Could be logo, it could be a symbol you have drawn, whatever. It could even come in the form of fashion, designs, textiles, makeup, all that you can think of, publishing, bloggers. Okay, they are all artistic works. And then we have musical work. Musical work here also means that when you create a music and it's in the form of sheet music, it's in the form of performance, then they are all musical works. Then we have audio, sound recording. So like this content we are creating is a sound recording. So it is protected by copyright law. Or your music, you sing it and you record it in the studio. It's moved from musical work and it becomes what? A sound recorded. And it's also protected by copyright work. And then we have what we call audio-visual. Audio-visual work here means that your song, it is now accompanied with pictures. So motion pictures plus sound forms what we call audiovisual. So in film is classified in copyright law as audiovisual because the sound is not different from the pictures. The pictures and the sound move together. That's why it is termed together as audiovisuals. So that when you make your movie and somebody's song is in it and the person is chasing you, you should know that Bnoskka, I told you that it's called audiovisual. The sound is not different, so you must also pay. Right. Then we have choreographic work. Choreographic work here means that, in the music or in the dance circles, there's what we call labor notation. Labor notation is the notation where you can notate your dance moves. Okay? So you can notate your dance moves and then be able to sell as a book or as a choreographic work. And if somebody also picks your work and then they are also trying to use your dance moves by choreographic work, it means they are also infringing on your right. So choreographic work. Sometimes it's not only about just dance, but choreography, some styles that you would do that is so unique and new. It's not anything that you can just do and the law will protect you. No, it should be new and unique and novel. So that. Then we have what we call computer software or programs. When we say computers, programs, or software, it basically means that the idea of how to put some letters together and it becomes a Facebook, put some letters together and it becomes an Instagram or TikTok or even an Uber or Bolt. Shatawale has even brought one, Shagzi. Okay, the software code that makes the app work, that code is protected by law, by the Copyright Act. Then, after all these that we've listed, the literary work, artistic work, musical work, sound recording, audiovisual, choreographic, and computer software codes, all these, if you also want to use it, and then you go and speak to the person, and the person gives you permission, written permission, to use it in another way, or in a translation form, in a cover work, or in any form, when you finish, in law, it is also becomes a copyright work that can be protected under a name we call derivative works. So derivative work simply means that maybe somebody's literary work, you pick the material and you have the person's consent. For example, it's a book and it's like a marriage of Ansah, and you want to put the marriage of Ansah into a play. So the moment you want to do that, you need an authorization. When you finish, your play captured into a movie will now become a derivative work. It means you have added something new to the literary work. Let's take, for example, a choreographic work. And then you get the consent of the author, the person who came up with the choreographic work, and he gives you a written permission. You can also do it another way, perform it, and add your own new styles to it, and then it becomes a derivative work. So this is what we mean by derivative work. Now, Section 2 of the Act says that despite Section 1, a work is not eligible for copyright unless, you see, the exclusion, that's where we are coming in, unless A, it is original in character. It means whatever that you want copyright law to protect it must be original, it must be new, must be novel. 2, it has been fixed in any definitive medium of expression, now known or later to be developed, with the result that the work can either be directly or with the aid of any machine or device be perceived, reproduced, or otherwise communicated. Okay, so for example, your ideas or all these lists that we have listed them here, all these copyright materials, if the way you want to store it, it is not known today, but you have performed it for everybody to see that Max did work, or Philip did this work, or Michael or Grace or anybody did this work. Okay, once it has become known and you have no means to store it, let's say on a pen drive or a DVD, but that technology to be stored, that kind of production you have done is to be developed later, you are still protected by law. Okay, so for example, you go to villages and you stage your concert, and there's no camera to record it, there's no video to record it in any retrievable medium, you are still protected by law. So if anybody beside you yourself, the right owner, takes their camera or takes any medium to record it without your consent, by law, they have infringed on your right. Now, let's look at another aspect too. If the work was created by a citizen or a person who is ordinary resident in the Republic of Ghana. So, for example, if you create a work, that work, if it must be protected by the Ghanaian Copyright Act, it means you must have a legal residence here before you can be protected. For example, let's say you are a Nigerian, you are here, you came on a tourist visa, so as ECOWAS, you don't need visa to come here, but you can come and stay here for 90 days. Okay, but if you want to register your copyright, you must have a residence permit to live here in Ghana before you can be protected by copyright. The same way, if you go to Nigeria and you are a Ghanaian and you arrive there as a tourist visa and you want your song to be protected by copyright law, or you've written something new and you want it to be protected, then you must have a legal residence to be in Nigeria before your work can be protected. These are all international conventions which have been added to our Copyright Act to make it work in every part of the world you go. So, 2, a first published in the Republic, and in the case of a work published first outside the Republic, subsequently published in the Republic within 30 days of its publication outside the Republic. So, if we're a Ghanaian and you publish your work outside Ghana, you have within 30 days to come to Ghana, to come and publish it here too. Okay, this is what the law says. And then also, a work in respect of which the Republic has no obligation under international treaty to grant protection. So we have international treaties. One of them is the World Copyright Convention. We call it WPPT. World Phonogram and Performance Treaty. Okay? So that law. And then we have also Universal Copyright Convention. Mostly people call it UCC. It's not University of Cape Coast. It's not University of Cape Coast. So, a Universal Copyright Convention is also another international organization which protects copyright. So, if Ghana, we have not ratified these laws in Ghana by international treaty, and you want to seek protection for your work in Ghana, it means we cannot protect it. Okay? Because we always say that copyright is protected automatically, whether you register it or not. That must be made clear. Now, for the purpose of this, now let's go to the last one. So, the eligibility of a work for copyright is not affected by its artistic quality, the purpose of the author in creating it, or by the manner or the form of its expression. So, copyright, once you create something and it's eligible for copyright, it doesn't matter whether the standard is jet or it's not jet, or the standard is good or the standard is not good. Let's say the video quality you see my face is shining, so it's not protected by copyright. No, it doesn't come in here. Or the video is shaking, so you think it's not protected by copyright law. No. Let's take, for example, some old videos. I Told You So movies they did some time ago. When you watch, you see the pictures is moving up and down, and it is black and white. And you think it because it's black and white, it's not protected by copyright. No, quality doesn't come in. And the way it was expressed, it doesn't come in. Once it has been created, whether it is quality or it is low standard or substandard or whatever, the law protects it. Now, the next thing I want us to look at is that ideas are not protected by copyright law. This is section 2 of the Copyright Act. When we say ideas, you are dreaming in your head. Oh, I want to create this movie. I want to create this song. And you dream about it. You go to the bathroom. You are dreaming, singing it in your head. Master, madam, brother, friend, please, it is not protected by copyright law. So ideas. Now you have discovered a mathematical formula that if you want to find 30% of 100, then you cross 0, and you multiply 3 to the 10 which is left, it is 30. So it means this is my formula I've gotten. It is not protected by copyright law. Formulas are not protected by copyright law. Now, you have found a new way of cooking akple. Next.
Yeah.
Akple.
Yeah.
Or emba. Or amala. Or apacha. Or if you go to Tanzania, they have food, they call it, I've forgotten them. Right. So any concept or process of doing something new, it's not protected by law. Maybe you have found a new way of cooking soup, and you say, this is my soup. I add the fish and the water first, and then before I add pepper, before I add this. So I have devised this. So I'm protected by copyright law. Please, it is not. Process of making things, concepts of doing things, and abstract understanding of things, ideas, formulas, method, procedure, all these ones are not protected by law. So try and understand it. And they are excluded from copyright protection. I mean, excluded means you cannot get protection. So if you want to say that I want to write a book, and in that book I'm going to show you how to cook pizza. Once that book comes out, anybody can read the book and still make a pizza and sell. You cannot sue them because it's an idea you are expressing in the book. Okay? Or for example, you say you have found a new way of sewing a particular cloth and you've written it in a book. I can take that book, read it, and still sew that thing, and you cannot sue me. Okay? Because you have expressed the idea in a book. Okay? So that is how ideas and concepts are not protected. So copyright shall not extend to ideas, concepts, procedures, methods, or any of things of a similar nature. So formula, like I said, procedure of doing things, method, any way you think is a expression of your thoughts in that aspect is excluded from copyright. So make sure that you understand that you can only be protected by copyright when it is a literary work, artistic work, I've explained, musical work, sound recording, audiovisual, choreographic work, computer software programs and software, and then derivative works which you have gotten authorization to change somebody's work and add it new. Then you can be protected by law. So let me come back to my wonderful panelists, Phillip and Max, and then the in-house studio. If you have a question, let's delve into it.
Okay, Bnoskka, I'm mentioning all the copyright stuff. You didn't mention architectural work.
Okay.
They also
It's part of the artistic work.
right. Oh, okay.
Architectural work, publishing, media, television, and radio, they are all artistic expression. So, for example, yes, thank you very much. You see, I've seen Mr. Margaret. He laughed, especially with, and it's now trending on social media, assuming he had registered that. And in fact, he has published it. Let me use the word. He has published it, his laughter. By now, all those people who pick that sound and put it on their works, he'll be getting money.
Wow.
Yes. It is artistic expression.
We should tell him.
And it's a sound recorded. The way he laughed it on that program, the UTV.
Would you?
Yeah, that way of laughter is artistic expression. If he has published, I don't mean if he has not published. If he has published, then everybody who uses videos and put his laughter in it, he will be getting money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can copyright be licensed and transferred to other people?
Oh, yes. Another time we'll go into that. We call it transfer of copyright.
Okay.
Yes, it can be licensed. It can be transferred. You can even write it in your will that when I die, this person should take over my estate.
Okay.
And it includes your musical, your films, your artistic works, and all that you owe.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a question. With the things that copyright does not cover, right, in terms of procedures and stuff, if, let's say, my colleague here, Max, does a song or a video, then she gives a procedure that, okay, you can do it this way, you can do it that way. It's something that cannot be protected, right?
Yes.
The work itself is. So if I also go ahead and do something similar to what she has done in my own way, and she comes and attacks me in regards to stealing her content and stuff, can I sue her on the fact that what she has, the idea is not copyright, therefore I can use it?
Okay. So if I understand your explanation, you first said that she explained the method and the procedure to you, and you went ahead to use it.
No, I mean, let's say she has a video.
So you watch the video.
Yes.
Yes. Now, you go and do the you cannot be sued.
Okay.
You cannot be sued. The stealing of content or taking of content is that by the picture frame, okay, you pick, okay, let me give you this example. You know, sometimes I watch music videos.
Right.
And then they want to talk Eradi. Then they go on Geographic Channel and pick a scene where an animal is going somewhere. They capture that scene and then they fix it into the music video. It is not protected by law. You are infringing on that particular video. Okay? So if you want to make a music video, every picture frame that appears on your video must be made by yourself. You cannot say that I saw Meg's video, I like it, I like this particular portion of the video, capture it and put it here. Or you are talking about police. So you saw a video on the YouTube and you saw a policeman going and then you capture and you go and fix your music video. No, it is not. If you want a picture that is protected by law and it will not affect you, there is another system we call Creative Commons. It's another form of copyright whereby once you have that right, then once you upload your things on the system, they will say accept that this is going on the Creative Commons. Once you do that, then it means anybody can pick that content and also use it for free. We call it Creative Commons. You can Google about it. Maybe another time we'll go into it, how Creative Commons are created.
Okay. Now, Bnoskka, do we have third parties when it comes to copyright?
Oh, yes, we have third parties. Like I told you in one of our episodes, this is episode 10, right? In one of the episodes, we mentioned that you can choose an abrogator, okay? Somebody who will now work between you and then a traditional publishing entity. Or somebody who has a record label and they sign you. They become a third party. So if somebody wants your music for licensing, they have to come and see them. But that does not include copyright protection. Because they are working, it's administration work. It's not protected by law. So tomorrow you can decide to leave that record label, go and join another one, and you can still give them the authorization to go about administering your work.
Okay.
And I have a question. If somebody comes to the realization that their copyright work has been infringed upon, who should be their first point of contact? Should it be the police?
Okay, so Copyright Office does not even come in here. But yes, because Copyright Office, their duty is to make sure that if you want to register, you go to them to register. And if you want what we call arbitration, you don't want to go to court, you want to use their system, you go and pay money to them. Copyright don't do arbitration or mediation for free. You have to pay money to them for them to do the arbitration. Now, the first point of contact for any infringement that you want to do is to get a lawyer. Okay? Get a lawyer, because maybe you are thinking that this is an infringement, and then when you go and it is not an infringement, if you speak to a lawyer, the lawyer is able to explain to you very well, and you describe whatever happened, and they really get to know that it's an infringement, then they proceed to write a letter to the infringer, the one who has committed the offense, to notify him this, that pay this amount. And this, if you don't want to pay, they take it to court. And that is how it goes about. More questions?
So in the case where if you don't have a lawyer, can you personally write the letter?
I'm sorry. If you write that letter, it might take effect. It might not take effect. But I would prefer you do the professional things. You can go to Ghana Legal Aid. They are lawyers. Their state is paying them, you see, to protect your interest. Go to them. They can write you a letter. And then you will take the letter and go and do the survey. Go and serve the infringer. In that way, the person would know that you are dealing with a body, a recognized body, not in your personal self-capacity. Okay? If you have your personal letterhead, then you can write your letter. But don't just write an empty letter without no letterhead, without no proper system. The person might take your paper, might think you are playing. Okay, so all these things are business implications.
So are there international treaties that govern copyright?
Yes, there's the Berne Convention of 1886. Okay. There's the Universal Copyright Convention, which is the UCC. There is the World Intellectual Property Organization Performance and Phonogram Treaty. We call it WPPT. Okay. Then we have the Universal Copyright Act. And then we have the Madrid Protocol. We have the Harare Protocol, which is for African countries who speaks English at Zimbabwe in Harare. All these are conventions. And as we read in the Act, Section 1 of the Act 690, it says about international treaties which are ratified in Ghana that grants protection to artists. So you are protected. Once you register here. Yes, we have an in-house question. Please, let's hear your in-house question.
I'm a script writing.
Yes.
Or voiceovers and.
Yeah, bring your microphone up a little bit.
Hello?
Yes.
And then a company contract me, develop concept for them.
Yeah.
They even do the voiceover for it. So I do it and then I present it to them for review.
Yeah.
And then based on that, they will decide to either hire me or not.
Yeah.
So I present it, and later I don't hear of them. But then one day I'm in Torture and I hear a commercial. And I notice that the text used or the way that the whole thing is transmitted
is included in copyright.
Yes.
I just want to say that it's included. You are eligible for copyright protection. Now, the mistakes most people do is that in business, there's what we call solicited and unsolicited ideas. If you sit down, company has not commissioned you, there are stages of publishing I should have added into it. Okay. If a company commissions you, develop this for us, then you go straight away, contract. How much are you going to pay? When you finish, you go ahead. But if they've not contracted you and it is unsolicited here, it means that you sat down, you design something and you send it to them. Like I have a friend who designed FIFA, their golden goal. It's a Ghanaian, the man who brought that idea. I have his number, Mr. John Chemoso. And then he sent it to FIFA. FIFA wrote him a letter. Thank you for expressing this idea. Later, he wants to go back and say, oh, you have used my idea. Can you pay me? No, by international convention, unsolicited ideas are not paid for. So once they did not commission you to bring that idea, but another aspect is that if you wrote that proposal to them to express this idea, and then they acknowledge receipt, and it is a business point of view, and they did not get back to you and they use your content, they have infringed on your right. That is also there. So that is how it works. Yes. I have seen another question. Please put the microphone in the mouth. Let's hear.
Yes. My question is about when you spoke about Acrobat.
Yes.
About the laughter.
Yeah.
So does he need to go to copyright that laughter? And then what about now, if he goes now to say, if that is the case, and then he goes now to make copyright of that,
okay,
will
so
he be entitled to whatever has been used?
Yeah, so for time, let me cut it short. So he doesn't need to go to copyright office. All that I'm saying is that he needs to publish that laughter. How? By going to a distribution company and says that this is my content I produce on UTV. Yeah. Publish it for me. You get your international standard recording code, and then you have it. Then anywhere that laughter appears on the social media, you'll be getting money. That's all it means. And even now, that is already in the system. If he goes ahead to do it, then he can get some black box, like I said, money which have been collected on his behalf. He has no idea. But until he does that, it is still ongoing. Okay. And it is his personal property. Don't be bothered about it that he is not going to get the money. Right. It's up to him to choose to do that. But I choose to cite as an example of, yes, quickly.
I have a last question.
Hold on, I have one.
So to add to what you are saying,
yes,
based on our experience with our distribution, we notice that people are already taking advantage of that.
Good.
So it could be that someone has even already distributed and registered that laughter.
Yeah.
Really?
Without him knowing.
Yes.
Yes, because now what is happening is when content begins to trend on the social media platforms, what people do is that if it's a laughter, maybe that one that came out, maybe who said Trial, then someone will take it and then repeat it for like 2 minutes and put a sound on it and then register it. Okay. So now anyone who's using who said try their content everywhere, they begin to collect it.
Begin to collect money for it. They're making a lot of money.
Oh, what happens with memes? Memes too.
Yeah.
Can they be copyrighted?
In fact, even emojis.
Yeah.
Emojis.
Because I was.
Emojis. They are all artistic works. Emojis.
So if I create,
Yes.
or somebody else creates a meme out of my picture.
Yeah.
Let's say I have this wig on and it looks really bad, and I'm looking like some wretched woman, right?
Yeah.
And the person takes a picture of me and uses that as a meme.
Yeah.
I can publish that
Yes.
and collect money.
Yes. Once it appears on the digital platforms, you should get money out of that. Yes, do.
Okay, so for those who are keen on stealing people's content, people's copyright, and then going away with it, what would you say, in your experience, can be the worst possible punishment that they may endure?
Okay, so the law makes provision for civil and criminal charges. You can be put in prison for stealing somebody's content and using them without their permission. And then the civil actions is that the person can sue you to retrieve damages in terms of money as a reward or compensation, so that whatever he has lost, he can get money to compensate himself. Unfortunately, this is how time will allow us all for questions. And thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell, like and share, and make sure that come to Apprise Music for your music publishing, and distribution as well. We do video publishing, we do audio publishing, we do video, audio distribution, video distribution. This is Bnoskka IP Zone. I'm telling you. We meet again.
You look, show it. It's like